If you draft Nick Chubb, that's a building block pick that cannot fail. In this video, we'll provide you with 6 bust-proof players that just cannot fail at their ADP. I'm Alan Seslowsky along with Jeff Erickson.
I think safety is an illusion. The first player for me is Stefon Diggs. I mean, we know he's a solid player. We know he's going to go, he's going to get his. He may not go crazy because Gabe Davis might take that step up. Isaiah McKenzie might be going to be the premier wide receiver 3. Who knows? Jamison Crowder could get his, but Diggs is going to get plenty of production. He's going to get you first to second round value. And by the way, you get second round value at the end of the first round. You've done fine with that pick, by the way. This is a point my friend and colleague Scott Pianowski always has to make for people. Just because a guy that you drafted 10th is the 16th rated player at the end of the season, that is not a bust. That is a very safe, good pick.
My first bust-proof player, it may seem obvious, but it's Justin Jefferson. And what I mean by that is when you're picking in the top 3 or 4 picks, and let's say you take Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp had an all-time season last year, but let's look back at the previous 4 years where he was wide receiver 19, wide receiver 4, wide receiver 13-ish. That doesn't mean that Cooper Kupp can't still be a first-round talent, but last year may have been an outlier all-time season, whereas Justin Jefferson has started as the wide receiver 8, then he was the wide receiver 4, and seems to be on ascending track. So given that context of a top 3, top 4 pick, I think Justin Jefferson is the pick, a defensible 1.1 overall.
Mike Evans is going to be and I know you've been banging the drum for Mike Evans a lot in these videos. Do you like minimum 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns? I do, because that's what you're going to get every single year with him. Okay, Brady's walking the earth, but he's back now. Oh, Evans has got a tiny hammy. Oh, they signed Julio Jones. Whatever. Mike Evans is going to get that production at that 2-3 turn every single time. He's going to be a wide receiver somewhere between wide receiver 5 and wide receiver 15, and that's pretty good for me.
And I'll even tag on to that and say, while he's been there with Tom Brady, he has not had less than 12 touchdowns, so 12 to 14 touchdowns, certainly in the range of outcomes. My next bust-proof player is Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's a boring player who does have a limited pass-catching upside because of his team context, but our offensive line rankings have the Browns as a top 2, top 3 unit, and in some offensive line rankings, they're number 1. I don't think many people would argue if he said Nick Chubb is the best pure runner in fantasy football. He routinely, in high-stakes drafts, falls to the middle of the 3rd round, never really goes in the 2nd round. If you draft Nick Chubb, that's a building block pick that cannot fail. When Deshaun Watson does return in those critical fantasy playoff weeks, it just opens things up for Nick Chubb just even a little bit more.
Why not Russell Wilson? QB8, QB9, typically where he gets drafted. I understand that there's some variability. Will Russ cook? But with Denver, they went out and they got him for a reason. They want to cook more than they did in the past. They're tired of takeout. They're tired of microwaves. They want to cook. They want Russell Wilson there. He's right there around with like Dak and Brady in that range. And I feel like he's a safe pick every single time. Not super exciting ever. He's not going to run like some of the top quarterbacks. He's not going to run like Hurts. But at the same time, there's like so much variance with Jalen Hurts and Trey Lance. They could both boom and be great quarterbacks, and we will be like, how could you pass on those guys? But they could also bust, especially Lance. So give me Russell Wilson at ADP.
In 2019, when they were letting Russ cook weeks 1 through 10, he was QB2, only behind Deshaun Watson's. My next bust-proof player is Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle was going on the 2-3 turn squarely in the 2nd round before the Tyreek Hill trade. Now, admittedly, Tyreek Hill is a target hog, and they've paid him as such, and Jaylen Waddle is probably going to be the 1B. But why is he any more of a 1B than T. Higgins is to Jamar Chase? Jaylen Waddle showed a new aspect of his game last year, low ADOT, short passing game. And we saw in college with Tua, he was a downfield threat. If he can add that and also now see secondary coverage where Tyreek Hill, with the safeties cheat over to Tyreek Hill, I think Jaylen Waddle is an ADP buster. If you enjoy videos like these, consider hitting the like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications when we put up new video content every day. And right now you can see Jeff Erickson's top 150 PPR rankings updated every week. Click the link in the video description below. And if you want to check out RotoWire's draft kit, you can right now for free. You can unlock the paywall for 2 days. All you do is go to rotowire.com/try, put in your email, and you're off and running.